What's up guys, Josh Olfert back with another video, and today we're talking about what are my largest, my most audacious goals that I want to achieve by the time I'm 30. Time to think like an investor. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Josh. I run a wealth management business and we help hundreds of young individuals and families invest in the stock market and build financial independence. So if you're interested in those kind of things, make sure to hit subscribe and follow along for the journey as we go about making these videos for you guys. But today I want to talk about my goals for the next 5 years. I'm 25 and in 5 years from now, I'm going to be 30. I mean, I think that's pretty basic math. For me, goals are these things where you get these flashes of inspiration for one thing or another. I've had so many different goals and inspirational things, and I write them down and I get out the book and I write down my goals, and then I completely forget about them within a couple months. It's like I get these flashes of inspiration and then the goal kind of putters off. And for me, goals have this negative connotation because I just think of them as all of the times I fell short of sticking to something, and that's really not something I like to remember that much. So if you are the kind of person who doesn't follow through on goals, or decides I'm going to start going to the gym, or I'm going to start eating healthy, or I'm going to start saving in my investments, and then all of a sudden you forget about it, don't worry, you are just a peasant, because I am the king of not following through on goals. And it's funny because I'm now a financial planner who's trying to help people achieve their goals. So knowing myself and knowing that I had this tendency to not follow through on certain goals or not stick to them, I actually came across this thing called Future Me. And what it is it's a website where you can literally write a letter to your future self. So I was this really young, ambitious, materialistic kid who just wanted to grab the world by the horns and go out and have a ton of success and make a bunch of money and start a big company. And what I did was I wrote a letter to my future self. And today I'm gonna do the cringiest thing I've ever done on this channel, and I'm gonna read what my past self, around circa 2016, 2017, said where they wanted me to be about a year or two ago. So the email reads, "Hey man," oh, that's nice. I kind of said "hey man" as if I'm some other person. "I know that ideas, opinions, dreams, and sometimes even values change over time, but it's progress, who we become, and how we help others that really matters." Wow, I was really sending myself some sentimental thing here. And I guess what I was doing there, I was like hedging, like, hey, if you've changed your mind on your goals, if you don't really believe in those things anymore, that's okay. But anyways, so it says, "I'm just following up to see how you're progressing. By now, you should have made $200,000 this year." And I don't even make $200,000 now. Oh, this is interesting. It says an apartment at 300 Assiniboine should not be a challenge. And that's interesting because I actually just moved into an apartment. This is kind of crazy because my roommate and I went to actually look at that building before we decided not to go with it. So I wanted that dream for a long time and I ended up passing on it for something I thought was better. So hey, there's a check. What do I say next? No, this is brutal. It says a Rolex is something you shouldn't have to debate because of the price by now. Wow, okay, so I was a materialistic little shit. And that's crazy because actually, oh my goodness, this is embarrassing because yeah, I do actually now have a Rolex, which I do need to make a video about because I have something to say about it. We'll talk about that later though. And then it says, you should be shopping for clothes at Harry Rosen exclusively. And what that is it's like an upscale suit store in my city. I don't even wear suits anymore. I find them very uncomfortable. Suits are the kind of thing where like you wear them as a kid a couple times, you think they're the coolest thing ever, and then when you have to wear them every single day for years, you hate them. You never want to put them on again. Anyways, you should be able to buy a Porsche 911 or an entry-level exotic car by now. Like, at this point, I would have been 21 or 22 years old. Like, this is just throwing out stuff that's just, I didn't have a grasp of how hard life was gonna be and how many roadblocks I would encounter. But anyways, oh my God, okay. It says you should see significant changes in your body and be competition looking. As if I was gonna become a bodybuilder. I want it to be fit. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Doesn't look competition ready to me. That goal definitely fell by the wayside. Yikes. Oh, but then I tie it all together with this beautiful little message at the end. But most of all, you should have a giving heart. Remember to give back first and always feel gratitude for what you've been blessed with. Josh, 2016. Wow, that is ridiculous. This is super funny because I was this massive, you could tell I was super narcissistic, materialistic. All I wanted was things to look good. I wanted a cool watch and very fancy car and nice clothing. And then at the end, I kind of wrap it around and say, well, but most of all, you should be giving and be grateful. This is so cringy. I look back at this and think to myself, my goodness, I'm actually really happy I didn't become that guy. But anyways, for today, the video is gonna be about making my 30-year-old self cringe. And I'm gonna do that by telling you guys what my goals are for the next 5 years and the big audacious things I'd like to achieve by 30, because I clearly didn't get these ones. So my strategy for writing down goals I got from a famous investor named Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett's idea for goal setting goes like this. Come up with 25 things in life that you really want. Things that have always come up into your head as something you'd like to experience. Whether it's travel or getting really good at a certain skill or sport or building a business, whatever it might be, come up with a list of 25 and then cross out the bottom 20, because there isn't enough life and commitment and energy and time to do all 25 things. You have to put all of your heart and soul into the top 5 of them. So today I'm gonna go through, not my list of 20, but I actually narrowed it down to just 4 things that I want to get done by the time I'm 30. So goal number 1, it's one of these things that's always come up for me, and regardless how many goals I forget and fall by the wayside, this one always comes back to the front. This is a goal I've always had. It's something I've always envisioned for myself, and it's financial independence. And that term might mean nothing to you. What it really means is that you make a living on your own terms. It means that you're not necessarily locked to a certain time frame that you have to work every week. You have to be in the office from 9 to 5. It's kind of doing away with all that. Making enough money that you can experience life the way you want it by income sources that you built yourself or through investments or different things like that. So for me, what I really need personally, and this is an audacious goal, I did a video a couple weeks back about how much money I make right now as a financial advisor and what I would really need to make at 30. My goal would be to make $30,000 every single month. That's massive. And if you may have seen my other video, you can go take a look at where I am now, but I'm about a third of the way there. But to me, more importantly than how much money I make is how I make it. And what I mean by that is I want to do it in a way where I can outsource or delegate all the tasks that I really hate doing and spend all of my time doing work that, the parts of my job and my work that I actually really enjoy. For most of us, there's aspects about our work that we absolutely love, and there's aspects that we absolutely hate. So for me, I'm more than willing to work 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, whatever it is, if I can just make sure those hours are doing the things about my job that I actually like. So my strategy to do this and the way that I plan to carry that out over the next 5 years is to grow my investment business pretty conservatively. Grow that at a rate of 10, 15, 20% every year without doing anything insane. Where I want to go really hard and try to create massive growth is online, right here on YouTube, or doing content or building a blog. And that brings us to the second goal, which is I have always really wanted to build an audience, or I think the word community is probably a better word. Where I'm at with my Instagram or my social media or my YouTube right now isn't big by any means. Even with just the couple thousands of people that follow me, I get into such interesting, engaging conversations in the direct messages and in the DMs, and people contact me and we reach out and we exchange ideas. The idea that I could have a creative expression, a form of creative expression like YouTube, or create blogs or whatever it might be, build an audience or a community around that I can run ideas by, that I can meet in person, that I can build relationships with those people, that's something that I've always thought was super cool, but I never thought I could do it. But now, here I am. I'm behind a camera making videos, and I think that if I can do 2 to 3 videos per week minimum for the next 2 years, I think I can build somewhat of an audience, and I plan to do 2 to 3 videos a week until I'm 30. So that is goal number 2. Now, with this second massive goal of building an audience, let's say something like 500,000 subscribers, or getting the channel to a place where we have a community, this also supports goal 1, which is to become financially independent. The great thing about being a creator, if you can call me that, or one day I might be, is that it's possible that I can do the work on my own terms, upload content, do new stuff, and over time that will actually end up paying me and it will contribute to my goal number 1. Now, the funniest thing about that cringy email was the fact that I wanted to look competition ready. I wanted to be this ripped, jacked guy. It was all about appearances. You want to be really fit, you want to have a cool watch, you want to have all this nice stuff. I've learned a lot over the past couple of years, and it's that all that stuff, all it does is it makes you feel empty. It makes you feel like garbage. Now, that goal of being fit is still there, but it's for a completely different reason. It's not because I want to look a certain way specifically, but it's because I don't want a physical ailment, or I don't want some sort of sickness or injury to prevent me from experiencing life the way I want. So for me, being fit is still a goal, and it's hard to quantify being fit. Actually, it's really not. I actually have a goal for this. It's almost like a weight that you want to get to. For people who are trying to lose weight, you're obviously trying to shed pounds. For me, I have these genetics where I can't keep on weight. So what I want to do is, my goal is to be 225 pounds and lean. And for me, that's kind of a physique and an amount of fitness that means I am having to work towards it and actually, watch my diet and be in the gym doing those sorts of things. I believe that if I can be in the gym and I can become the kind of person who is committed to being in the gym 2 to 3 times a week, I can achieve that. Funny story about this, by the way. For some reason or another, I was looking into this new fitness plan, and I was sitting with my girlfriend, Alana, who you guys have probably seen in other videos, and this fitness plan showed like a comparison between like a guy who's like slightly ripped and a guy who's like absolutely shredded. And she's looking at that and she's like, oh, the guy who's shredded is like pretty like, I don't know, I don't like that. So this was one of those weird times in life where the world actually works in your favor, because I love Popeye's chicken sandwiches, and all that I really want to do is maybe have 2 or 3 abs showing and still maintain the ability to eat Popeyes every now and then. Now, the last goal I really want to achieve by the time I'm 30 is the most difficult one, and it's the one that is the hardest to measure. I myself am someone who feels burdened by my own mind. I feel like I have a lot of racing thoughts and stuff that kind of weighs me down in my head. But guess who also did? Michelangelo, Nietzsche, all these great guys. So maybe I'm just one step closer to that. No, that makes no sense whatsoever. I just feel like I need to become clearer headed. I need to become a clearer thinker. Someone who's, not a monk, but is more present and more engaged in the day-to-day life. One of my favorite quotes that I've heard is from a guy named Naval Ravikant, and I talk about him all the time. He's one of my aspirational heroes. His quote goes, "Desire is a contract to be unhappy until you get what you want." That's really fascinating. Desire is a contract to be unhappy until you get what you want. And I feel like I'm in this state where I'm young, I've got the world ahead of me, I've got this career and this business and all these things ahead of me, and there's so many goals, there's so many desires, there's so many things I want to do, there's so many things I want to achieve and accomplish, that I've essentially put my brain in a place where it's just unhappy a ton of the time, because the thing about achieving a goal is that 99% of the time you're not achieving it. And then I guess for you guys it's over here, at the very end of it, that 1% is when you actually feel like you got to win. So for me, what I want to try to achieve by the time I'm 30 is be in a state where I am making progress without being obsessed about some future outcome or goal. Being in a place where I'm present and I'm experiencing life as it is in the moment in front of me, and not constantly thinking about, where am I going to be in a year from now? How far can I get this month? What goal can I achieve? What is this new thing I can pursue and get better at? Being in a place where I can move forward, make progress, but without having the weight of being attached to the outcome of something. Long story short there, I don't want to run on the treadmill forever. I know I'm on a treadmill right now. I know I'm chasing things. I'm trying to achieve stuff. And is that stuff going to make me happy in the long run? Not necessarily, but I think the development as a person that I go through is worth it on the way to achieve those things. It's actually more worth it than achieving them in the first place. So that is by far the hardest goal, because it's hard to measure, and I also don't necessarily know if I've hit it or not. But I guess, hey, 30-year-old me, if you're looking back at this for whatever reason, if you're really pissed off at yourself, you clearly haven't achieved that goal. You need to be a little more present, be a little more in the moment. But anyways, guys, these 4 or 5 things is where all of my mental energy and my work is going to go for the next 5 years. These are the things that I'm committing to, and I'm actually probably gonna write myself a silly little letter that gets delivered when I'm 30, or I guess this video will serve as that. But for me, the thing I am most excited about, having looked back at that silly email, was the person I became in between there. It's not so much about achieving certain things, but for me, it's like the person I transformed into. Someone who's really not that interested in, being a bodybuilder or having a super crazy car at a super young age or having a Rolex or all these different things. I've almost matured through the process of trying to achieve them. So anyways, I'm most excited for the person that I might become in that time period. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on post notifications for more videos just like this one every single week. Until next time.